Welcome to this video. We are starting a new unit talking about circles, and this is lesson 1, Introduction to the Circle. Here is our agenda for this lesson. We are going to overview all of Unit 6. We are going to discuss the parts of the circle, and then we're going to go ahead and practice some examples before I leave y'all with IXL to do on your own. So here's the overview of Unit 6. Lesson 1, we're going to introduce the circle, then we're going to talk about in detail each of the different parts: chords, tangents, arc lengths, sectors, and radians. Lastly, we're going to end with the equation of the circle in the coordinate plane. So, our objective for this lesson, scholars will be able to name the parts of a circle, and of course the big idea for this unit is circles. Here's our guiding question for this lesson. How many distinct ways can a circle and a line cross? I want you to pause this video and try and figure it out. Go. Okay, hopefully you pause the video. Let's talk about the answer. Alright, so here are all the distinct ways you can cross a line in a circle. The first one is called the diameter, and that actually passes from one end of the circle to the other end straight through the middle. So that's going to be my diameter. The next one is a radius, and a radius is half the diameter, goes from any point on the edge of the circle to the center. Now keep in mind, the radius is half of the diameter, so in other words, the radius times 2 equals the diameter. The next one is actually called a secant. Now secant is going to go outside of the circle, pass through the circle, and then continue on. This is called a secant. It's distinct from a chord, which I'm going to talk about now, which goes from one end of the circle to the other, but does not pass through the center. So that is a chord. The last one is actually called a tangent, and a tangent is like a secant, except it goes along the outside and only touches the circle at one point. That is a tangent. Alright, let's talk about some other important circle vocabulary. You have a sector, which you can think of as like a slice of the pie, and this is going to be an area. This is called a sector. Actually, this outside part here is called an arc length. An arc length. This angle here on the inside is called an inscribed angle or a central angle slash central angle. Then you know that the circumference is the whole outside. And lastly, a segment is going to be the area created by a chord. Okay? So those are your pieces. You got a sector, arc length, which is the outside but not the full circumference. You got the full circumference, you've got an inscribed or central angle, and then you've got a segment, which is this area created by a chord. Let's practice some example questions. Which of these figures shows an arc? So this first one here is just the center. The second one is an inscribed or central angle. Third one is an arc, and the fourth one is a chord. So we know our answer is the third one. Question 2. Which figure shows a chord? This is a central angle. This is a center. This is a chord, central or inscribed angle, and arc, so we know it must be this one. That was all for this lesson. Now it's time for y'all to practice on your own. Here's the IXL you need to do. Geometry U1. Please be sure to send me an email or join me during my office hours on Zoom if you have any questions. Best of luck.